so we start off by saying that operation z, which is that you insert a value in, it's the cooldown of say 1. It's like these guys over here, when they want to actually do a form of like say a search, it's just like cooldown of 1. So what you gotta do, it's like at the start, Alice, I'll search throughout the map, and then there's no Alice, so I insert Alice here, and I'll add a value of y1. Same goes for Brad. I search throughout, there's no Brad, so insert a Brad, key in the value 1. So as we know, it's like very much to do with operation X, where it search the map, and if it's like no existing name, it will just insert it into key, and then we perform like a plus equals 1 towards the say the value. So operation X. So now we go to Colleen, search for Colleen, add a 1. We have Brad again. So now this will be operation E, I'll call it, where there is existing name. So if there's existing name, what you have to actually do is just only plus equals to 1 value. You don't need to touch the key because the key is already in there. So if you go in, you plus equals to 1 for this, it becomes 2. So you go to Dylan, operation X, the guy is not inside, put a 1. We have Kim, and the 1, operation X. So I mean that they go on to actually say that our folks here has a cooldown of like 1. And why is that? It's because operation Y. Operation Y is like always so it's like n multiplied by 1, and usually this item is very much refer to your say your in array, and this guy is usually the cooldown of one of the guy. And the cooldown, specifically, we're very much talking about one of the folks, and we are doing a form of like search or some form of like maybe say insert. But for this case, I'm just very much leaning it as being like some form of like search, if you were to call it. And yeah, so when you have these two items, it's like a cooldown of n multiplied by 1. So in fact it's like n for the operation to maybe say like insert a value. They then further go on to actually say that Oh, what about increase? Increase, what is the value? So it's operation W. It's very much of a cooldown of log n for one of the folks, and obviously you got to insert the in array. So this one is like the cooldown of like inserting for like one of the folk, and whereas this is for the cooldown for maybe say the in array. The size of in array, just like this, and usually is like this size. This size is called like the n. I mean, at the end of the day, they're just like trying to do some form of like comparison. Oh, in maps, what's the cooldown for us to actually search all these? And then if there's like a duplicate, what do we then do? So it's a lot to do with that. So right. And the cooldown, they did actually start do some form of like discussion saying that it's actually by right it's average, but by left they're taking it as like being a big O. So but generally they accept it as like just constant. So and we can kind of like see why, like our assumption is that they just simply go through the list, and most likely they don't really need to go through every single list, and on average it's just half, like 1 to half of it. It really comes to depends, and I can see why they consider as average being constant, because it's sometimes low, sometimes medium, and sometimes it's high, and so on average it's actually just a constant. So they're saying that when you insert and there's no existing ones, you just go in, insert a key plus one of the value. It's very straightforward. It's very straightforward is because is that we're very much like dealing with a lot of like say empty lists in most cases. And this one might be some of like the duplicate cases. So this is of like some of the special cases where there's duplicate, and so yeah, I'm just looking forward on how we can implement all this into maybe say legal questions, and actually find out about those legal questions off the start. So yeah, everything comes to an end.